Okay guys, today we're gonna do some handstand alignment at the wall and we're gonna work on that perfect handstand. The first exercise, we stand on the wall with our legs straight and we just try to feel the whole spine at the wall. So we don't want to have an arch back like this. So we really want to flatten our spine and be in one line on the wall. And it's really important here, the hip position. So notice you can do two angles with your hip. You can do posterior pelvis tilt and anterior pelvis tilt. You can also place one hand on your back and one hand on your belly. And when you do posterior pelvis tilt, you can start how your lower back starting to straight. This is a really good handstand position. And when we go anterior pelvis tilt, we have a curve in our lower back, and this is what we don't want. So we want to make sure we step a little bit closer at the wall, and we try to straighten our back, starting from straight legs and then going into the hip with posterior pelvis tilt. And we also want to bring our belly in, and you may start to notice that your upper ribs start to flare out, and you also want to bring the ribs in and the chest in like a really good hollow position. And then we raise our arms, and if we can bring the arms all the way and the feet all the way to the wall. And if you can do this, your body is able to do the so-called perfect handstand. And we can progress into it. If you can't do it in the first try, you can start by placing your feet more away and then straighten the whole spine, elevate, and you can eventually work on getting that perfect line. But for those people that might have problems with opening the shoulders to 180 degrees. For example, we assume I can only do my shoulders like this. So what can I do? What's important? Again, we start with feet a little bit more away from the wall. And from here, I want to open the chest area and I want to open that thoracic spine. But I don't want to open that lower back. I don't want to curve here. It's really important to keep that posterior pelvis tilt, that straight lower back. But I can open my chest to comprehend the lack of mobility in my shoulders. So open the chest, but fight for that straight lower back. And then again, we also can do it with feet closer to the wall. My shoulders are here, my lower back is straight, and I open the chest area and I keep fighting for that straight lower back. And notice, this is not so-called the perfect handstand with the hollow body position, everything closer to the spine, but it's an efficient handstand line. You have some kind of S shape in your spine, you open the chest to comprehend the shoulders, and you keep the core, the lower back on tension. And this is also a really efficient handstand. And it's a great way to comprehend the lack of shoulder mobility. Or also this concept is called the thoracic spine concept, where we open the chest. We can also use it for different positions, like for example, in the tuck handstand, we also want to keep that lower back straight and open our thoracic spine, the chest area. And we can really feel this movement if we go closer to the wall, place our knees onto it. And from here, we want to make sure our lower back is straight, chest to wall, and we slide down and we open the chest area. But I don't want to see that you're going to the very edge where it's really uncomfortable to hold. You want to feel a good stretch in this area, but you don't want to force to be at the very end of your capability. Go a little bit higher and try to find a position that feels good for you. And you also don't want to do anterior tilt in the lower back. You want to also keep that lower back straight and just open the chest area. Yes. And I talked also about the opening of the ribs, and I wanted to give you one more drill that really helps to feel the ribs in, the so-called ribs in, belly in area. And here we go chest to wall, and we are like this, and we do the belly in, and you can feel your ribs at the wall. And from here you do small movement, but you just want to bring the ribs in, and the wall really gives you a nice feedback of this position where you start to notice that your ribs are coming off the wall, and this is a really good position. Whether you in a more thoracic spine handstand, you also want to try to bring the ribs in, or in a perfect handstand, you always try to bring the belly in and the ribs in. Really nice. And if you don't have flexible shoulders, I recommend things like this. Opening up the shoulders always before your training. And you can always go back to the wall and check your line, the areas of the spine, the posterior pelvis tilt, belly in, ribs in, chest in, relaxed neck, and elevate from the shoulders. All right, guys. Thanks for watching this handstand alignment class, and I see you in the next one.